So, the original The Day the Earth Stood Still is both fun and stupid. It doesn't feel like something as memorable as it should be. It's not a bad movie. It's a good movie, okay? It's just that it kind of feels more like an episode of TV than an actual full-time movie. So you have like this flying saucer come in, guy shows up, guy shoots him, blah, blah, blah. But like the one thing you would expect from someone landing on another world would be the guy wearing armor, because you have a whole crowd of people. If you have the technology to make diamonds just like that, right? Synthetic diamonds, you have the technology to know you can just wear armor. And also, well, basically, I'm sorry. I know I'm all for limiting the nuclear arsenal of the world or whatever, but fundamentally speaking, the nuclear arsenal of the world at the end of the century, like, actually resulted in peace at the end of the day. And as terrible as nuclear war is, you gotta admit, it wouldn't have actually killed everyone. It would have killed like 1/4 or a third of the planet's population realistically. In horrible, horrible, terrible ways, but like the more you think about it as a modern person, the less logical it seems. Unless if you factor in other weapons that might be used, like chemical weapons. Like chemical weapons, I think, could have killed hundreds of thousands and were a lot less traceable than, nuclear weapons or bioweapons. Now, if this thing got made in this hypothetical world, and it was like about biological weapons, I'd buy that, but then it would hit hard, and it would have lost its cultural significance. So I kind of feel like this need to nitpick everything about this movie, even though it's basically just an episode of television in the 50s, and people just remembered it because they didn't watch it on the TV, they watched it in cinemas. It does really kind of feel like an episode of television, and not a very intense one either. That's my 2 cents. But it is a good episode. The movie feels like a good episode of TV, good enough episode of black and white era TV. But it really doesn't feel like, a full-on movie.